Hello, y'all. I I thought I might go live and tell you that what's been going on for the past 3 weeks. I'm not sure if anybody's even noticed that I haven't been around, but uh, maybe I should wait a few minutes and see if anybody shows up. If not, I'll just go ahead and tell you the story, and if nobody sees it or anything, then fine. As you can see, I'm or maybe you can't. I'm in bed. I have been in bed for 3 weeks. Uh, and the title just about tells it all. Uh, Hi, Richard. How are you? It's nice that somebody showed up. Um, I'll do my best to do this. The trouble is I'm not real clear on everything. My mind is still full of all kinds of weird ass hardcore drugs. So everything's a little blurry. Uh, let's see. On this, let's see if I can just remember it all. On the 16th of uh, November, I didn't feel too good, and after doing some errands, I spent quite a bit of work or my time doing some errands, and that afternoon I decided that maybe I was getting the flu, and I laid down in bed and started coughing, and at some point I spit up a little blood, but I'd been coughing a lot with the COPD, and I thought maybe it was just my throat was raw. Well, I was wrong. Uh, Sunday morning, I woke up and I just felt terrible. So I stayed in bed, and I don't know the times. Uh, Sometime that morning, I started a coughing fit again, and spit in a bucket that I had next to the bed. It looked funny when I spit it out, and I checked, and it was a blood clot about the size of a $half. So I went and told Georgianne that I thought I needed to go to the doctor, and she had been telling me that she wanted me to go, and I was stubborn, and I didn't want to. I But I went, and she set me in the car and buckled me in. I remember pulling out of the driveway and her telling me I'm always teasing her about how fast she drives, and one of these days she's gonna, have a wreck going around the corner. So sorry. And she commented how she wanted me to notice that I wasn't driving very fast, she said. That's the last thing I remember for over a week. Up, we lived down the hill from the hospital. Once you turn the corner that she was talking about, it's just 3 blocks up the hill to the hospital. I never saw the hospital. I never saw the top of the hill. Sometime after we made the turn, she said my eyes glazed over and I quit breathing and I was gone. So she comes and, hello, Becca. It's nice to see you. So well, I died in the car. She ran up to the emergency room and she ran in and told the doctors that he wasn't breathing. And they came out and got me, called a code, put a trach tube in, got my lungs started, and they got my heart started again. After about 45 minutes, she said they ran me. They took me to the hospital, transferred me by ambulance to St. Mary's or St. Vincent's in Evansville. On the way, they they told her that by then my family had all got there, and and they all lined up behind the ambulance, and the ambulance driver said not to follow too close, so they were behind them some, and about 5 miles down the road, they said the ambulance kicked in their siren and sped off down the road. Apparently, I had coded again, and I had stopped breathing. By the time that they got me to the hospital, I had been dead for 8 minutes. No oxygen to my brain, no oxygen to my heart or organs. They got me into the critical care ICU. They got my heart started again. And then, I'm sorry, my lungs are still full of infection. The reason that I coded and I had died is because my lungs were full of pneumonia, both sides. My left one was the worst. It had seeped out and was surrounding my lung. So, sorry. So, the infection in my lung had turned septic, and that's what kept stopping my heart. And they got me all stabilized, dropped my body temperature to 36 degrees, and they put me into a coma. Where I stayed for it was the following Friday, so I guess what 6 days I stayed in a coma, and they finally decided. I I just want to say that when you're in a coma, you're not sleeping. It is not fun. Your brain is active, and it's sometimes it's nice and peaceful. Mine wasn't nice and peaceful. I was terrified. There was images and nightmares and stuff that I'm still trying to get over. I thought I was abandoned. I thought my family left left me, and they hadn't. They didn't leave my side the whole time I was there. But for some reason, I thought I was alone in the darkness, and I was just, well, um, they finally got everything under control. They got some of the infection out of my lungs, and then like I said, they pumped me full of heavy duty drugs. That's the only way they could keep me alive. And they, the following Friday, they decided that I was kicking and screaming, and I was trying to. I pulled out IVs one after another, struggling to get out of the darkness, and I got a hand free before the doctors could get me, and I reached up and grabbed the trach tube and decided that I was going to rip that thing out of my mouth. And in the process of doing that, they decided that it was better to let me do that rather maybe I shouldn't have done this. Uh, Rather than let me tear it out, they decided that they would remove it and see what happened. They had already told Georgianne that, and my son Justin, that I was probably going to be a vegetable, and because I had been without oxygen for 8 minutes, and they ran some EKG, found out that my heart was, or my brain was functioning, and that there hasn't been any apparent damage, which surprised the doctors because I just happened to show up when there was St. Vincent's. They keep a team of the best doctors on call for just such emergencies. Only the department heads and the best are on this team. And they just happened to be there. And they worked on me for a long time, all night, all day, or something, whatever time it was I got there. And they they managed to get me stabilized.
You were in a coma for 3 days.
And after that, they got the trach tube out, and I woke up, I think, the following Friday. And I was in critical care. I didn't have any idea where I was at, how I even got there. Didn't even know I was dead. I, I, I wasn't sick. I just didn't feel good. I don't recall any pain. I don't recall, anything like an accident victim, who knows sort of why they're there. I had no clue. I just opened my eyes. There was tubes running in and out of me, and nurses hovering over me, and people telling me that I had died. Then they told me that they were calling me the Miracle Man because I shouldn't have come out of it. I shouldn't have woke up, but I did. So everybody in the hospital wanted to see the
Miracle
Miracle
Man.
Man laying there in his bed alive. So they uh, they were taking real good care of me. I had two nurses that were virtually my own.
Mm.
They their job was to make certain I was comfortable and that everything got done for me. And on my, like I said, they were pumping all kinds of drugs into me constantly, and I was mostly okay, but not all. I was apparently I was not in my right mind, and they gave the drugs. They said that they gave me would take maybe as much as 6 months to get out of my brain and clear my system, and they're not sure what results may still be. You know how long it will take, what damage actually may have been done, and but I feel okay. I am weak. I had this oxygen thing out of my freaking nose for 3 weeks. That's getting old. But Georgianne didn't know who to call of you guys, and so she she didn't know what to do about my friends, and she knew you guys would be worried about me because I hadn't been online, I hadn't done anything, and I didn't. They gave me my phone when I woke up, the day after I woke up, and I just didn't. I sent a few people birthday wishes, and I just didn't feel much like getting online. And uh, well, in a nutshell, that's it. I uh, I died. I didn't see heaven. That bothers me a little. But what I did see was mostly nightmares. I don't know what that means, but they let me out. I've been home. I think this is my fourth day home, and I just have been mostly depressed, and I can't get out of bed. I have to have assistance to do anything, and I mean anything. I just I'm thankful to be alive. I am. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I still am afraid of the dark a little. For 3 nights, I had my son or my grandson standing guard over me because I was terrified that the darkness would come back and get me. But they protected me and they stood over me and sit next to my bed the whole time. And I don't know. I guess I'm just a little afraid of what may come, what may find down the road that isn't working. I'm going to have trouble with my memory. I'm already having trouble with my memory. I can't keep people's names straight. I can't remember my son's name sometimes. I can't remember Justin's name or my grandson's. And, well, I am alive. I don't know what else to say. There's more to the story, but it's those are the high points. I just hope that everything works out. I think God sent me back because I had work to do for George, my grandkids. I love them so much. And I left Georgianne just left her. And I couldn't do that. I knew she would be terrified. She and my son had to make the decision before they found out my brain was active, whether I wanted to be on a machine and just be kept alive or let me go. They decided to do exactly what I would want. They decided to let me go if there was brain damage. Nobody wants to be a vegetable. I will always love her for that, but she would make me lay in some bed somewhere. I guess, like I said, that's about it. It's a quick rundown. It's not really everything, but it's enough. So, like I said, the rumors of my death are true. Of course, I'm back again. And maybe I've been watching in on some of your chats. I just couldn't find a way to tell anybody. And it's such a, big thing that I just didn't want to answer questions in chat. So I thought I would go live and tell you guys all at once, and whoever's seen it, and others maybe see it later. I really appreciate you guys. It occurred to me while I was laying there that I don't, except for my friend or my family, I don't really have any friends. But I have you guys. And I know you care about me too. So I don't know what else to say. I'm glad I'm here. God has something for me. Nobody goes without oxygen for 8 minutes without brain damage or heart damage. So, you know, some plan still is out there for a 68-year-old man that decided to check out just so, you know, I appreciate you all, Evan, Becca, J Dog, Skeeter, all of you guys that have always been there to talk to me when I needed it and to entertain me. And I guess that's really all I have to say. I don't really know what else. I really don't know what else. I'm glad I'm here with you guys. I'd hate to miss out on all the tournaments that are coming up. Uh, so I want to thank you. And I'm surprised you all came in. I didn't think anybody would even notice it come up on YouTube. It's not like I do this much, but I will see you in in chats, and I have doctors all next week. Everybody wants a piece to examine and look at. Uh, I've been a little depressed, so I'm going to my family doctor, and maybe they will be able to give me something that'll make me feel better, help me forget some of this, and make my life maybe a little bit closer than it was. Again, I really appreciate you all stopping by. Catfish Fever. Hey, I think that's it. I I don't really know what else to say except I am very thankful to be alive and to be back here to finish whatever it is God meant for me to finish. I'm sure you'll let me know what that is. I just hope that there's no permanent damage that hasn't shown up yet, because it's very likely that there will be memory problems. There still could be neural problems. Like I said, nobody dies for 8 minutes without oxygen and gets away with it. Except, I guess, for Miracle Mike. So I hope you all have a great day. And remember, you don't know. I sat down in the car and I was calling. So that's really the hardest part is realizing that dying isn't looking up and seeing a car coming at you. It's not getting shot. It's just is. You don't have a clue. So, and if you ever come across a family member who's in a coma, try to be happy. Try to be upbeat because they're not having dreams necessarily about fields of flowers and ponies. They could be in so much terror that you wouldn't imagine. I still look in the corners to see if there's something there. It is. Guess it's going to take a while for me to get back to a normal place. I don't know. There were a few days I didn't really understand why they just kept me alive, but I am glad they did. So I don't know what else to say. I love you guys. And I think George Ann's got medicine for me. I take a lot of medicine. But my breathing is better. Uh, the odd thing about it is uh, the doctor was setting me up for a procedure. I forget what it's called. They go in and they block off the bad parts of my lungs uh, so that the good parts can expand and take in more oxygen. I got through the first half of the tests to see if I qualified, and I did. And then I was in the hospital for the rest of the appointments. If it hadn't have been for that, I may have already had half of it done and breathing better. And instead, I had septic pneumonia and MRSA, and they just barely were able to keep me here. So maybe by CatCon, I'll have at least half of my lungs working right. Maybe. I don't know how fast they're going to want to move, but they're already calling me and asking me to make appointments to finish, you know, actually start over, but to finish the study to see if I can get it. So, and actually, I am a little famous. They the doctors there made a case study of me. They're going to publish it because I lived, and I shouldn't have. And apparently, I lived without any consequence so far. So they couldn't believe it. So they decided that they were going to make a case study. And I had all kinds of interns and residents coming and visiting me. And all of them wanted to ask questions about, what I felt and what I remember. And I guess I'm going to be part of somebody's schoolwork someday. But I want to thank you guys for coming in. I really do. I thought honestly I would just be talking to myself, and it amazes me how fast you guys responded. I'm amazed that you, like I said, that you even seen that I went live. But now I'm feeling a little bit like I really do have some friends, even though I haven't seen a lot of you. So I'm going to let you go. Take my meds, take my breathing treatments, and again, I love you guys. And I'll talk to you all later. Thank you for coming in and listening to my story. I appreciate it. Thank you all. And good evening.